Thanks for logging on. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about foam rolling and some trigger point therapy that we can do with some of these balls. The whole concept behind this is basically you're giving yourself your own massage. This is your human rolling pin. What you're going to do is what happens is your muscle has connective tissue around it. Try to think of cheesecloth surrounding a muscle tissue. What happens is that gets really, really tight. You get knots in your shoulders, tightness in your hips, pain in your back, whatever it may be. So the whole concept is, what you want to do is you want to kind of push into it, kind of like massage therapists would, and manipulate those tissues in order to warm them up, as well as to kind of relax them a bit. So this is kind of the concept of, if you were to take Play-Doh out of your freezer, you would roll your Play-Doh around to kind of loosen it up. Then after that, you would start to stretch it. So the concept is, we're going to use the foam roller. I'm going to show you a few techniques you can do as part of your warm-up. Then we're going to do a couple little stretches. And then once it stretches, then you get into your workout. You can do it for a cool down as well, but it's perfect for your warm-up. It increases muscle activation and gets the whole body prepared and ready to go. So I'm going to show you a routine that we can do of a few different muscles that can really, really make a big difference in your warm-up. Here's an example. The other day, which I'm going to post on the blog later, I have a client of mine that when we do squats, she can only get down this deep. We foam rolled her calves for 1 minute on each side, and before you know it, instantly, right away she squatted all the way down. So the whole concept is you're trying to warm up these tissues and get them malleable so that way you can use them throughout your workout. Okay? Here we go. The most common problem people have is low back pain. And low back pain is usually due to tight hamstrings, but tight hamstrings really does affect the hips. And the main thing about the hips here is your piriformis muscle on the side. So what you're going to do is, hands out in front of you, or hands behind you, feet out in front of you, and you can twist to your side, and you're going to roll down onto the edge of your hip. You should feel some sensitive areas in there. In order to make this a little bit more intense, you're going to get your foot up, pull it down. This torques the hip and opens up that piriformis muscle, which is on the sciatic nerve. And now you're going to roll right in there. Okay? And you're going to stay on each one for 30 seconds to a minute. So rolling in there, and then you're going to do it on the other side. So my right foot's up, I twist to the right, and now I roll down into there. If I find a pressure point, I'm going to sit on it and then roll it out. Okay? Now what we're going to do, especially with runners or people who are doing lots of cardiovascular activity or on their feet all day, your IT band and your tensor fasciae latae, the muscle on the side of your leg. It gets really, really tight, lots of connective tissue here. So now we're going to roll from the hip down to the knee. This is one that everybody should be doing. Foam rolling is something that everybody should be doing. Everybody needs to do this. The best athletes in the world do this, and the clients of mine that actually take it into consideration and do it see amazing results with it. Improve flexibility and comfort through your day-to-day work. Here's what you're going to do. Lay one leg straight, and your other leg's going to be on top, and you're going to come down on your elbow. Now you're going to pull from the hip all the way up, down to the knee. You see how that foot stays off the ground? Back and forth. You're going to go for 30 seconds to a minute, all the way from one joint of the hip all the way up to the joint of the knee. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay? From there, you can roll over. You're going to do the quad, the front part of your leg. And now you're going to roll back and forth, all the way down and up. I'm going to stack my right foot on top of my left in order for me to get more pressure on that quad. Okay? And vice versa. Now I can do it on my hamstring. My right leg on top, that leg stays straight, and I roll back and forth, all the way up from my glute, all the way down to the back of my knee. So now, I've done the butt, I've done the hamstring, I've done the quad, and I've done the side. The other area I can do is on the inside. Now most people make fun of me for doing this one, but I'm telling you, it works. I've had groin injuries, and I rehab them single-handedly by the foam roller. So, what you're going to do, you get your knee up to 90 degrees, and you're going to place it on the inside of your groin. Your groin connects to your pelvis, and it inserts down here with the groin muscles, lower down on the femur. You bring the knee up, and you're going to roll in, all the way into the groin, and back out. Back and forth, 30 seconds to a minute, and I can already feel that warming up those tissues. Okay? Really, really important. So now we've done all the upper leg, and like I said, the calves are also really important. They affect your squats, they're the muscle you use most throughout the day, so you might as well warm them up and get them malleable. So, one foot on top, all the way down to your Achilles tendon and your ankle, all the way up to the behind your knee, and all the way back down. 30 seconds to a minute, then switch sides. Both of those you can do to both sides of your body. I'm going to give you one upper body one, just so there's not too many to confuse you. You're going to sit down on that, and you're going to roll all the way down. Now, hands are behind my head to support my neck. I'm going to roll all the way to my upper back, and all the way down into my lower spine. back and forth. This is really warming up some of the large muscle groups that support your spine and really help you improve your posture and relieve the tension in your connective tissue there. You can also go vertically, side to side, resting your head on there. This way, if you feel any knots in your shoulders, you can help kind of pressure them out, but it really does help the health of your spine. So, that's a basic foam roller routine. I want you to play with that. Let me know how it goes. Now, we have a simple tennis ball and we have a trigger point therapy ball. They're basically the exact same thing. If you have a little higher pain tolerance, this is a little more solid. This is a little bit squishier. So, it sounds dumb, but sometimes that doesn't get deep enough into the tissue that we need to get into. This is why we're going to use something like this. So you're going to sit on that piriformis muscle that you started with, and now you can move the ball around and roll into those areas. See, I can feel that right away. I'm going to put pressure on that and allow it to dig in deep. I can do the same thing with the foam roller or the trigger point ball and move it around right into that hip. And you'll really feel that start to open up and relax. People who have back pain, this is generally due to the tightness in their hips as well. Okay, so really important that we do this. Same thing on this side. Okay, and moving that down. And the other big one I want to give you on this is a lot of people have tightness in their upper back from driving all day or clicking their mouse. Here's one I want you to try at home. You're going to put this just on the inside part of your shoulder blade, okay? You'll feel where that shoulder blade moves to. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your shoulder blade just below it. So let me find it there. You're going to move it around a bit. And you should find an area of a little bit of tightness. Now from there, what I'm going to do, relax my legs. I can actually put my feet underneath me if I want to. I got to find that spot. And right there, the trigger point ball isn't to put a ton of pressure on, or it is to put a ton of pressure on, it's not to move it around per se. So you're going to hold it there. Now what I'm going to do, my arms stay straight, and I open it right up above my head, and I can already feel that start to put pressure on the upper back muscles and the tightness of my rotator cuff. So this muscle here is going to really help relieve some tension, and this exercise makes a big, big difference. So you're just going to hold this 1 minute or so, and then bring the arm back down, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. If you have some issues with your shoulders and such, then by the time you're done that, I guarantee you, if you get your arms to here, you're going to get your arms all the way back. It really allows some increased range of motion. When you're done those things, then I want you to do some stretches. Pulling your arms across, pulling your arms back by putting your arm up onto a wall, similar to this. Okay? Quadriceps stretch. Getting the front part of your leg stretched out. Then if you come over here, you put your foot up onto a ledge. Something up decently high, usually about between your knee and your hip. Getting a good hamstring stretch. Okay? And when we rolled out the hips, there's one more stretch I want to show you that if you look on the blog, I believe we have up there, is your figure 4 stretch. So if I cross my legs like this, I pull this left leg in, and it helps stretch out that right piriformis muscle. And then the same thing on the other side, here. And then finally, the last stretch that we should all be doing, considering we stay in a crouch position all day, is to open up our hip flexors. So, one foot in front, 2 hands on this knee to stay nice and balanced. This front leg's at 90 degrees, and I drive forward. Head up nice and tall. I take a deep breath. You're holding this one for about 30 seconds each side. The same thing, I'm not going to feel it if it's like this, but I will feel it if that foot's far enough up in front. Anyways, try that stuff. I guarantee you, it'll make the biggest difference. You have to be doing this 3 to 4 times a week before every warm-up. So, if you're coming in for a session, do this early. If you're doing this at home, give it a shot. It works. I'm telling you, I use it myself. I use it with the majority of my clients, and those that stick with it see unbelievable results. Everybody should be doing this. There's tons of research to support it nowadays. Give it a shot and let me know how it goes. Thanks for logging on.